Just setting up the tier list. Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be doing a BTD6 tier list. Now, this was suggested for one of my ideas in the poll, so here we go. First, we got the Ultra Juggernaut. Now, this tower is good for like shredding ceramics, but is it like rounds like 76, 78, and like 63, but it's not really that good against like Moabs and stuff. Therefore, it's B tier. Now, next is Super Plasma Monkey Fan Club. I don't like this tower. I do not like this tower, because you're paying almost $54,000 for basically nothing. You're paying for super monkeys, plasma monkeys. You're literally paying for super monkeys for the plasma upgrade. I get a little bit strong, but it just requires too much, like the Grandmaster Ninja. I think it deserves B tier for now. Next, we got the Crossbow Master. And me personally, this tower is so freaking good. It can pop any balloon type. It's only like $21,000 to $24,000. It does good Moab damage, surprisingly. It's just a go-to tower, but an S tier. Now next we got the Glaive Lord. I also like this tower, but I think I just like it a little bit less compared to like the Crossbow Master, because I don't really have that much of a reason, but I think all Boomerang monkeys just at least deserve A tier, because think about it. Moab Domination does insane damage against Moabs, like Fortified Zone Gs. Does decent damage against the bad balloons, and then Permacharge is crazy fast with its attack speed. So, and combined with Red Hot Rings, this thing is gonna do insane damage. And I think it like shoots like every 0 point something seconds, so that's already insane enough. And for only like maybe like what, $38,000. It's more pricey than the Crossbow Master, but I think it's still gonna. Yeah, I should bump it down to an A tier. Like as I said, all Boomerang monkeys are equal, fair use. Yeah, I just think all Boomerang monkeys are really cracked in general. But yeah, I'm trying to see if it's S tier worthy. No, let's just slap an A tier for now. Next, we got the Balloon Crush. Okay, this does good stun. This has good stun, kind of like the Moab Domination, but you're paying around like $60-something thousand. It doesn't do that much Moab damage, but it infinitely stuns. Moab Eliminator, it's good, but I have to use a lot of abilities to make it worthwhile. And I don't like abilities that much, and I'd rather just use like the actual thing. I just don't like abilities that do damage, because then I would need a tech bot or something to hook it up so I don't have to do it constantly. But I think Moab Eliminator is going to stay in A tier. It does good damage, don't get me wrong, but I'm tired of microing the ability over and over again. It does have a short cooldown though, but next tower is so bad. I hate this tower, personally. It's just going to go in D tier. I just hate it that much. A recursive cluster, it's just a recursive cluster on drugs. And the Bomb Blitz ability doesn't always work, so And it can't even pop black balloons. Like, once you get the cluster bombs upgrade, you can't even pop black balloons. So, like, what's the freaking point of this tower? Anyways, next we got Inferno Ring. This tower. This tower right here. Yeah, this tower right here. This tower is so good. The fireballs that it shoots out, oh my gosh. They did nerf it so it doesn't hit camo balloons, but I don't think it matters that much, because it can still hit lead. Of course it can still hit lead. Why would they nerf his lead popping power? But yeah, he's still a really freaking strong tower overall. And I don't think this tower has got that much nerfs like throughout the years. So I think I'm gonna put this in A tier. Solid tower that I could potentially use. Oh, speaking of bad towers. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just coughing because of how bad this garbage is. Constantly having to use an ability that doesn't even work. But anyways, we got the tax zone next. I don't use tax zone that much. I think I remember only using it once for like vortex, but even then he's just gonna stun it. He's just gonna stun it. I think I'm gonna stick in maybe B tier. Yeah, I think B tier would be fine for now. It does do strong damage, but first of all, they remove popping power ability, and it's only good for like the vortex boss I just said. But super brittle. I don't know how the hell this damage buff works. Like, I don't know how the damage buff thing works. Like, I cannot honestly tell you the difference between a couple embrittlements and a super brittle. That's why I'm just sticking all ice monkeys in C tier, because they're all just support towers. Now you might say, well, Thomas plays Icicle Impale is a offensive tower, bro. Its only sole purpose is DDTs. What are you actually gonna use this tower for besides that? Nothing. You're not gonna use it for crap. But next we got the Balloon Solver. I actually like this tower if Crossbow Master is banned, or if you cannot use any of the towers in A tier. But it's so strong. And some people even say it's better than Permaspike, which I can see how it's better, but this thing struggles mainly against tougher balloons like ZOMGs and fortified ZOMGs. And that's ironically what the Permaspike struggles against too. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna put an A tier for now. Now, Glue Storm is just again another support tower, so I'm gonna put it with the Ice Monkeys, because Super Brittle and Glue Storm basically do the same thing. They make other towers do more damage, but except Glue Storm has an ability that does it instead of just doing it automatically. Yeah, I'm just gonna move Plasma Monkey. Super Glue, again, it's another support tower that's trying to be able to do damage, but I think it could be B tier worthy, like the very bottom of B tier, because it can do some damage, like it can permanently stun, and I think it's slightly cheaper than Balloon Crush. Prove me wrong, but next we got Cripple Moab. Should I put an S tier or A tier? I think A tier, because I don't want to, like, make people, like, mad, because Cripple Mode does really good damage and makes other towers do more damage, but I feel like it just doesn't do something right. Like, it does so much damage that it has such a slow fire rate. You can kind of recognize the weaknesses with this tower, like crowd control or something like that. But I think that's mainly for what middle and bottom path are for. If you get the middle cross path with the bottom. But speaking of bottom path, we got Elite Defender, and I actually just used this for like the what you call it, the Lich challenge with the bloody puddles Lich challenge. It's pretty good. You're paying. It's only like maybe like $20,000, around the same price as Crossbow Master, except that you can't get camo and lead detection with it. That's kind of an L, but I don't mind putting in an A tier. But I'll just keep an S tier. You can argue with me all you want, but Energizer is D or C because it does barely any damage, and is only good for the buffs. Next is Preemptive Strike. This is pretty good because it just, I don't know which is better between Preemptive Strikes and First Strike capabilities, but they do insane damage to Vortex. They also do pretty good damage to BADs too. Should I put this in A tier or B tier? Should I put an A or B tier? Yeah, screw it. Let's just do an A tier. Now, sub commander is it kind of relies too much on other submarine, like tier 4 submarines, to be good. I mean, I see one video can get to like the early 90s, but even then it's just, it's just B at best. Next is Carrier Flagship. I love this tower. They buffed it so much to the point where it buffs monkey aces and water monkeys. You can place other towers on it, and it's literally been used for 2 tower chimps already. It just does really good, and it's global, which means I can hit everything on the map. S tier is a perfect spot for this tower. We got Pirate Lord. Now, this tower is really good against, like, I think it got a buff not too long ago to the point where it now can hook in up to multiple, not just 3, but a lot more MOA class balloons, and can make more money now with this buff. And it also was used for like a 2 tower chimps, which is also pretty good. Now, next we got Trade Empire. So, this tower's only good for money. Only good for getting, like, the Paragon. Or if you're even trying to get a Paragon, but you're most likely have to waste, like, tens of rounds just to get the Paragon. Like, maybe, like, 50 rounds, but it's not worth it. You're better off just spamming banks, but Sky Shredder. I don't use the tower, unfortunately, because I don't have it unlocked, per se, but from what I can tell, it's pretty cracked. It's pretty good, actually. And I'll just stick it in B tier, I guess. The next one, actually, never mind. I'll put in A tier, just to make people happy, but Sir Obama. I hate relying on ability to be. I hate having a micro inability, like a deadly bomb. I don't care. I don't care if it does a lot of damage. Like, what? It does a lot of damage though to compensate. I don't care. It's going in C tier. It does barely any popping power. But that's the opposite compared to Flying Fortress, which does insane damage. Even though it's like 90, maybe 110k, it does insane damage. And it's just really good overall. And also, that's the profile picture of ISAB. But next is Apache Prime. I think it's A tier worthy. Kind of like the Flying Fortress that does a lot of damage, but this main weakness is DDTs, because like those DDTs will just be flying out. Like, what's the bad pops? Literally DDTs will just be flying past your Apache Prime. I don't think the machine gun can pop lead, only the missiles. That's why I think it lacks DDT popping power. But next we got a support. We got special operations. This tower attacks and makes money, and I like it. I love it. Like how the Marine does really good damage. Like, it can seriously pull off some good damage with that pierce and damage. Oh my gosh. But the main support Chinook, like the main point of the towers for the door gunner, and it's money making. So yeah, Comanche Commander I never actually got, but wait, do I have Comanche Commander? Because I remember having Apache Prime, but yeah, I don't know, C tier. The biggest one is pretty good, especially with Bernie's stuff. Like, it does extremely good damage with Bernie's stuff. But this next tower, I just don't really like that much at all. Pop and all, I just don't like it that much. I never use it ever. I never use it for boss runs, and it says it does extra boss damage. Why the hell would I do it for boss runs? It would joke of a tower. Can't even, you have to still directly hit it. But yeah. Blue Incineration is pretty cracked. I can't lie, because it defortifies, I think, BFBs. I don't know about ZOMGs. I think it does ZOMGs, but I don't think the upgrade just says it. And its burning step is really freaking powerful. But speaking of powerful, next we got the Ray of Doom. Now, on a good map, this tower can shred. If it's not on a good map, at the very least it's B tier. But because if you're on like a good map like Cubism, boom, it's just going to be really solid. MED's S tier. Don't answer that question. Now, before you answer it, it does insane Moab damage for like maybe like $70-something thousand. I use it for boss runs, and it just saves my butt trying to save up for other towers. Because MED just does insane boss damage. It does insane Moab damage and boss damage. Like, I guess you could say like Moab class damage, but that's the same thing as Moab class and boss damage. But I should stop yapping and get to the next the next tower. I'm not sure what the next tower is called. Is that that's the Bez Blue Exclusion Zone. This tower could be really freaking good. Like, I'm not joking. It could be really solid with MIB, because it'll just be shredding. But the only problem is lead popping power. Archmage is basically a 5/3/3 wizard. It's got Dragon's Breath and also has the Shimmer effect, which is already insane enough for a tier 5. Wizard Lord Phoenix is pretty powerful, but I feel like the Dragon's Breath damage is the same for like tier 3 and above. But as it's supporting Phoenix, and also it can turn into a Phoenix. But next tower, Prince of Darkness is pretty good if you're trying to go for like a whatchamacallit, a 2-tower chimps. But this next tower, people are gonna be raging in the comments, but I'm telling you now, True Sun God is trash. Hear me out. You have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sacrifices. You have to spend $500,000 just to even get the upgrade. To make the Vengeful, you have to get Legend of the Night. You have to get an anti-bloom. You have to get $50,000 worth of every category. And it's even then, just get a Paragon, and it just does as well as a Paragon. It's so stupid. Like, I believe before Paragons existed, this tower is just the best in the game. No doubt about it. But Grandmaster Ninja is just the same thing as like the Avatar Wrath, which I'll show later. It's the same thing. You need 20 Shinobis. You need Oben. You need a village. You need everything for this guy. It's stupid. Grand Saboteur is just honestly a terrible upgrade. It just takes away damage from Moabs, which I guess is fine, but next tower is going to be so good. Master Bomber's S tier. I'm going to also stick Permabrew in S tier because, my gosh, this thing is so freaking cracked. Total Transformation. Who can agree that Total Transformation is like the worst tower in the game? It's just a Plasma Monkey fan club wannabe. Like, it's literally just a PMSC just wannabe. Plasma Monkey fan club wannabe. Nope, D tier. Trash. It's literally the worst. Superstorm should be... I'll stick it in B tier for now. I just don't use it that much. Again, I can see its power by blowing back like Moakas balloons infinitely, but it's just going to create a regrow farm if there's like rounds like 78 or stuff like that. Spirit of the Forest is good, but just don't use the ability because it'll lose attack speed over time. They nerfed it so that it loses attack speed every time you activate the ability. But Avatar Wrath is at least way more powerful than just a stupid Grandmaster Ninja. And let me tell you, it does insane damage. I literally watched, I think, either ISAB or H-Bomb or whatever, like, just beat Bloonarius, just a normal one, with only Avatar of Wrath and buffs. Like, Pop lists, I think Oben, a Permabrew, and stuff like that. But the Final Harmonic is basically just a balloon shipper. Like, who doesn't like a balloon shipper added in BTD6? After all, it was just way too overpowered in BTD5. It was too overpowered. But see, I'll put the monster in A tier along Pop Scion S, but I think I should put the Monkeynomics in D tier because the fact that it makes little to no money and you're better off spamming banks. You're better off spamming banks just to get your money's worth. Banana Central is just not that good because it costs over $100,000 for only $6,000 a round, when you could just get a Monkey Wall Street for like 90 to 100,000. It's just better, simply better. And it can also auto-collect all bananas in range. Like, who doesn't want that? Like, you could get extra BRS to spam in range of it, but Super Mines is goated. Super Mines is so freaking goated. Along with Carpet Spikes in A and Perma Spike in B. Because Perma Spike got nerfed a lot. Carpet Spikes is so powerful for like phase. And Super Mines is just cracked overall. Insane popping power. I actually beat Ultra Blue rounds on like round 100 just using Super Mines. It's just insane. And I'm also gonna put all villages in S tier because all of them are unique and cracked in their own expertise, being the expert in buffing primary. Homeland Defense being the best in like buffing fire rate and damage and popping power, whatever. Monkeyopolis is just the best money-making tower in the game, hands down. Maybe have some competition with, like the whatchamacallit. Like, what is that one upgrade called where it has the bigger balloon trap? I don't know what's called, but I'm gonna stick in B tier, as well as the Century Champion and, B tier, because I use Century Champion a little bit. It's alright, at best. Megalodon, I'll stick in B tier because it got nerfed again. It's just not that good, and I'm not microing. I'm not investing so much money into a stupid tower that came in one-shot BADs after round 140. Like, why can't it one-shot BADs after that? I mean, I get it, it was overpowered, but that's still pretty stupid. But the Giganosaurus is A tier because it's really good, and the Palkai is B tier. Again, I don't have Beast Handler upgrades fully unlocked, but I can tell by their power and how people use them. Yeah. Anyways, that'll wrap up this video. Like and subscribe. See ya.